Good evening and welcome. I am Uyai Anyakan. Western Sahara with Moroccan King. We see South African Parliament. We move to Tanzania where we have a report. The stories are all just ahead of Spotlight Africa. Thanks for tuning in. First in today's Spotlight Wednesday, where they discussed the disputed West of the United Nations. Reports say Morocco controls 80% forces withdrew in 1975. Recall that in October, the UN Nations Alliance of Civilizations held in the Morocco a court decision that sent former President Jacob Zuma back an earlier ruling that his medical parole had been unlawful during an investigation into corruption, but he was with medical care that could not be provided in prison, including day care centers in the last 3 months. According to the ministry, 8 rapists had been sentenced to life in prison in the last 6. The newly released figures are also men and children. We saw it rise by 16 points, marking an average of 76 killings per day. According to reports, the circumstances of the attack but died as medics attempted to resuscitate it. There are ever reports of pit bulls attacking and killing children in recent weeks. They are being attacked, poisoned, or beaten to death. There has been tens of thousands of signatures calling for owning the dog breed in the world relative to its population. Found in graves in a forest in October. The cops were taken to Kira Mafbuba to graves and a vehicle suspected to have been used to transport former governing Democratic Progressive Party DPP. Police found a mass grave with 25 bodies, a foul smell. The bodies were exhumed, but President Emerson Mnangagwa has held the new Parliament building, giving State of the Nation address at the opening of the field. Reports say President Mnangagwa arrived at the new Parliament. The impressive stone structure perched on a hill is symbolic of the controversial German colonial officer in Namibia's capital, Windhoek, has to celebrate him as the city's founder. Activists dismissed where the statue stood before workers took it down. Though in neighboring South Africa, a statue of British imperialist investigation after a guard foiled an attack on Napoli-owned Daily Monitor website. Kampala Metropolitan Deputy Police spokes 4 o'clock local time incident. This would have been a soldier at the Gaddafi barracks in the eastern at the Kingston Luxury Heights police post in the central Lurio district. Meanwhile, they arrested at least 22 people. Every day. Security.
Every weekday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Rise and Shine Daily. Exclusive.
And government has distanced itself from a preliminary report on Tuesday, said that more lives could have been saved had rescue efforts. The findings came from the Air Accident Investigation Bureau on Wednesday evening. Government spokesperson Gerson Miswa said that from that, Kenyan members of parliament are hearing. William Ruto was declared the winner after narrowly said the result was erroneously aggregated. The petition conduct and incompetence. Meanwhile, opposition leader Raila Odinga's committee. Reports say the committee will present its final report to Parliament, which. Meanwhile, Somalia has launched a new TV channel, Neda Allied Militant Group. The state media reported that press channel, which will focus on anti-Khawarij al-Shabaab ideologies, al-Shabaab platforms. Recall that on the 8th of October, national security. The Information Ministry said the crackdown. Elsewhere, African leaders have declared a cessation in substantial gains in recent months. This of the DR Congo, Angola, and Burundi. Reports say that were immediately from occupied areas. There has been no Rwanda to end its support to the M23. Denies involvement. The Luanda summit solely in the mineral-rich region. Video footage shows punches being exchanged the other and then back. Meanwhile, members often for next year's local and general elections. Development: a father of 3 who drowned in a river 9 from Lower Hand disappeared on December 30 near Alokpem Island, close to the capital city, Accra. Meanwhile, a provisional post-mortem examination held in Ghana concluded Gwan died from asphyxia. Federation for Human Rights says 2022 has been the most. It blamed all sides for the violence, including self-defense groups, jihadists, the Mali, enduring summary executions, sexual violence, and forced recruitment, and starting to threaten countries in the Gulf of Guinea. Mozambique, who believe that jihadist attacks are a divisive province, urged monetary help but also emotional support. He said the church has been helping the nation's High Commissioner for Refugees. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us. You have been watching Spotlight Africa. I am Uyai and